might see some rain, and I'm just really hoping that doesn't happen.
Now, honestly, I kind of hope that it does, because if we do get some rain, I came prepared.
Lincoln's prepared, and so is Kia with our full weather forecast. Kia?
With precautions. Lincoln?
Thanks, Isabella. I'm here at the beautiful American Airlines Center where the Dallas Mavericks are getting set to take on the Houston Rockets in just over an hour. Now, prior to today's game, Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban announced that the team will be relaxing their COVID restrictions as long as COVID cases stay down. Cuban announced earlier this week that as long as the daily average case count in Dallas County remains below 500, fans will not be required to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test before entering the game. Dallas becomes now one of 15 teams to not require fans to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test. The remaining 14 teams require at least partial vaccination of all fans. Now, although no negative vaccination or COVID test is required to enter American Airlines Center, the team does ask that fans wear masks at all times while in American Airlines Center. Now, these changes will also not be coming into effect for today's game. However, the team is expected to put them into effect in the coming weeks. I'll be back in just a few moments with sports, but for now, David and Isabel, back to you.
$2 billion deal with Blackstone.
Okay, so the Rangers aren't in the playoffs, but if I'm not mistaken, it's World Series time.
David, it's one of the most wonderful times of the year, baseball time in October. Lincoln, how are my Atlanta Braves stacking up against the Houston Astros?
Yeah, guys, as a diehard Rangers fan, I'm definitely going to have to be cheering for the Braves in this series. However, they're going to have their work cut out for them against the other team from Texas. I'll have more right after the break. 165 days after the Mavericks last played a regular season game at the American Airlines Center, the place is set to be filled with blue and silver as the Houston Rockets come to town tonight. Coming off of a win in Toronto and with new head coach Jason Kidd running the ship, the Mavs are hoping to stop a couple of opening night trends with the Rockets tonight. First off, the Mavs have lost 4 of their last 6 home openers over the last 6 years, along with losing the only 3 home openers that they've had against the Rockets in team history so far. Tonight also marks the first of 4 meetings between these two teams this season, which sparks another unfortunate trend, which is the fact that the Mavs are trying to win their first seasonal series against the Rockets since the 2012-2013 season. The road to breaking all of these trends that I just mentioned starts tonight at 7:30. And now moving on to staying on the basketball topic, going to the college level, we are now just 2 weeks away from the start of the UNT men's and women's basketball season. Both teams are set to be back in the Super Pit on November 9th, and both teams are expecting big seasons this year. Most notably, the UNT men's team is looking for another great season after advancing to the second round of March Madness last season. After getting a taste of the madness and with the return of key players Thomas Bell and Mardrez McBride, the Mean Green are looking to make a return to the tournament this season. The women's team will start their season against the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma, and the men's team will play against Oklahoma Christian shortly after. And with the beginning of basketball season comes the end of America's pastime. The 2021 Fall Classic is set to start tonight with the Houston Astros hosting the Atlanta Braves. The American League Houston Astros are in the World Series for the third time in the past 5 years, and they're looking for their first World Series win since that 2017 season. On the other hand, the Atlanta Braves are in the World Series for the first time since 1999, and they'll be fighting to win their first World Series since the 1995 season. Now, I know that I'm going to make a lot of people mad here because everybody thinks that you're supposed to cheer for the Texas team in this, but I'm going to have to go with my gut here, and although the Red Sox are out of the running, I'm going to have to go with the other team here and say, go Braves. That's all for me for tonight. Back to y'all in the studio.